Hey, hello, team. Welcome to week 5 of OS 330 once again. I am Dave. So, in case you didn't notice, last week I didn't put a discussion board in. I decided to give you a little bit of a break. Not going to happen this week. Nope. Where's my finger? There it is. Not going to happen this week. We have a discussion board. So, anywho, let's talk about some stuff here, right? Last week we really talked about the communication plan. And the communication plan is vital. It may not sound like much. Hey, I got my performance plan here. Uh, what, really, what do I need to communicate? Well, think about this, right? Who are your stakeholders in a performance improvement plan? It's not just the employee. It's also the union. It's also the shareholders. It's also your management. How is this going to be communicated? Uh, and it's not just the mentoring with the employee and the rating. It's also the KSAs that we talked about back in week 1, that these skills are what's needed for this position. And how do I communicate that? Do you push information out? Or do you let the stakeholder pull the information from you? And that depends, what is their interest level? So, for instance, an employee would be very interested in what they're going to be graded on, their objectives, right? So you would push that information to them. Saying, hey, these are your objectives. This is what you are going to be evaluated on. Now, a shareholder, though, may not be very interested in what somebody's going to be evaluated on. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't be interested in that at all, and they shouldn't be. That's between you and the employee. But they could be interested in the KSAs. Like, hey, so I'll pick a random company. Let's say Procter and Gamble. Wow, Procter and Gamble's bringing on a huge training department or a huge finance department with these skills and abilities. Now, this is information they would be pulling from you. You could supply it in like a public forum or something, saying, "Hey, Procter and Gamble, for instance, is going to be hiring 100 finance managers in the Hartford area, and we will be looking for these skills and abilities." Okay, now you put the information out there; it's public, and so now they're going to be pulling the information from you, asking. So and that's all in this communication plan. So I wanted to say that because so you understood that it's a little bit more than just coaching and mentoring the employee when I say communications. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about week 5. And I got some grading to do, I know, but a lot of you guys submit on late on Sunday evening, even during the Super Bowl. So give me some time to do some grading, all right? I'll get it done today, tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to read chapter 9 in Aquinas's book, and you're going to start reading in multipliers, right? Chapters 1 and 2. This is Liz Wyman's book. Hold on, let me get it. It's down here. There it is. And I love this book, and I'll tell you why, right? Because as a leader, and you are a leader here, our actions matter. And the littlest things can either multiply somebody's reaction in their performance, or it can diminish it drastically, right? It's all about building trust and how we act. So, for instance, if you say something to an employee like, uh, I like this, I like what you did here, but you could have done it better. That but can really kill motivation, you know? So how do we word this? Instead of that, I like what you did here, but you could have done it better. Maybe something like, have you thought about approaching the problem this way? Hmm. That could, a little bit worded different, and maybe the person, that would multiply their efforts. Hmm. May not get the response you needed, but that's one of those things with leadership is that everybody has a leadership book. Everybody will tell you how to lead, but you have to figure it out. These are just guidance for you to figure out. So, anyways, we're going to read chapter 1 and 2. There's a discussion board, and we have an assignment, a case study, 9.1. There's a discussion board on the most important skills that a manager needs in debriefing employee performance. Now, I want you to think about this, because a lot of times, unless you are already in a supervisory management position, but a lot of times we look at this strictly from the viewpoint of the employee because that's where we are, right? And we say, oh, I really want my manager or my supervisor to be understanding. Yeah, I do. To be a good communicator, to be trustworthy. Yeah, these are very good traits. I want you to also think about, you in the supervisor role. What traits do you want? They probably are close to the same, but you may be, if when you're thinking about debriefing, and think about it with your most difficult problem employee, I'm willing to bet you might be thinking patience or calmness or stoic, something like that. I know I struggle with that myself. Uh, One, because if you remember back to Myers-Briggs, right? And I think many of you have done like the Myers-Briggs personality assessments. I am what you call an extreme intuitive, an extreme thinker, and a perceiver. All extremes there. So what that means is that I love big ideas. I don't like details, right? And as a thinker, I tend to be, it's this way or the highway, right? And as a perceiver, as you can tell by my teaching style, I'm not very structured. Structure kind of bothers me. So I share that with you because a lot of times during debriefings, or when I feel the emotions coming in and that personality coming out in me, I have to suppress it a little bit. I have to. I can't say during a performance evaluation, and let's say it's with a problem employee, that I think you're all jacked up and you should be looking for another job. That doesn't go very well with somebody, right? That sets you up for litigation, maybe. You know, uh, there are other ways to say that without getting personable, and making it personal. Excuse me. Perhaps is this the right position for you? Do you feel comfortable with the work assigned? Do you feel you are capable of performing at a higher level? What is holding you back from performing at the level expected here? See, there's other ways to say it so it doesn't come emotional and it doesn't become a personal attack on the person. That's what we have to avoid. And that's very, very difficult. Uh, you know, so think about that too. As a supervisor, how would I do that? Okay, so as you know, and I started this off, right? It's week 5, right? We got 2 more weeks. I've been giving you feedback on all of these, assignments that we've been doing, and this is building into that performance improvement plan. Like I said, and I've been saying it every week here, there is an example. There was actually 2 examples, and I believe it's in week 2 or week 3 that I posted. You should be building that performance improvement plan. I've been giving you guys some feedback on the pieces here. The most difficult part was, those rubrics. Uh, we have a small class, so I'm not going to ask for the papers like a week early, but they will be due by the last day of class. Uh, and yeah, they should be in that format. And I will get them back to you with feedback. And well, yeah, and that's it. Okay. I think that's all I got. Okay. So once again, Dave out.